Hi guys, and welcome to the second video on using the calculator with trigonometry. So this is still in the basics of using the calculator with trigonometry and right-angled triangles, and these examples are still coming from the Cambridge Mathematics Standard 1, a textbook for New South Wales. Now before we get started on this one, I'm going to introduce you guys to some different versions of those keys. So far we have used DMS, or degrees, minutes, seconds. Okay, and we've also used sine, cos, and tan. Alright, we're going to use all those keys again. We're going to use them slightly differently because we now have the shift key, or sometimes it's called the second function key. And we're still obviously using things like our fraction keys and our square root keys and all sorts of things. Okay, so we're still going to be using all of those normal ones, but we're also going to put these in to it as well. And the reason that we're going to do that this time is because when we're given the ratio and we need to find the angle, we actually need a version of our keys that have a little -1 on them. So we need the second function or the shift function before we hit sine, cosine, or tan in our calculator to get these up. So we want sine to the -1, cos to the -1, tan to the -1. So these are like the opposite operations when you're doing regular algebra. So sine to the -1 is opposite to sine, cos to the -1 opposite to cos, tan to the -1 opposite to tan, because they just go back the other way. Okay, so they're not what we would like to call inverse or complementary. They're just the opposite way. Alrighty, so let's see how this is going to work with our first example. So this one here, we've got sine theta is 0.6123. So that's how I'm just going to start it. But what I'm going to do, so sine theta is 0.6123. We want the value of theta to the nearest degree, so we need that sine to the -1 because we want to go the opposite way. And that's going to be 0.6123. Okay, so this time we're going that opposite direction. We type this into the calculator, we're going to get 37.75. 5994, and we want that to the nearest degree. We want theta, in fact, to the nearest degree, and that's just going to be rounded off just like we normally would in these terms, because we want whole number. So we want to cut it off there at the decimal place, at the decimal point, and we're going to end up with 38 degrees. Why are we ending up with 38 degrees? We'll have a look at this number here. It's a 7. That's in the 5 or above category. So that's above halfway. So we're closer to the next whole number than we are to the whole number that's already there. So that's why its theta is 38 degrees. Let's look at another example here, which is going to be a little bit trickier. Given tan theta is 1.45, find the value of theta to the nearest minute. So this time we're to the nearest minute. So again, I'm going to take the tan to the -1. Alright, and then I'm going to put 1.45 in there. And equals. So I'm going to type that into the calculator just as I showed you before. Alright, using the second function or the shift function, and then the tan key, and then just 1.45. You should get something on your screen that looks a little bit like this. All right, again, those numbers may continue on your screen. Just keeping this a little bit shorter for efficiency. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hit that DMS button, the degrees, minutes, seconds button, to get what this value is in degrees, minutes, and seconds. degrees, minutes and seconds, which will be 55 degrees, 24 minutes and 27.76 seconds. All right, so 55 degrees, 24 minutes, 27.76 seconds. Now, rounding in this one. Again, it's that halfway principle. We want to look at what is the halfway point. So if the number of seconds in a minute is 60, so seconds in a minute equals 60. So the halfway point is 30. Okay, so what we want to look, is it 30 or above now, or is it 29 and under? Okay, so once you get to 30, you are now closer to the next whole minute than you are to the previous minute. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that halfway point. So if I cut it off here at the minutes bit and we look at this, okay, so now we're looking at the whole bit here. That's 27. That is under 30 because it's under that halfway point. So everything is going to stay pretty much the same. So our theta is going to be 55 degrees. You'll notice that hasn't actually changed. That is the same, as is the 24 minutes, because we haven't gone over that halfway point. Okay, we haven't gone over the halfway point. It stays there. So hopefully you are following along and you're using those keys correctly and you are understanding that whole halfway point system. This time it's sine theta is 4/5. Same way as everything else that we've done, we're just going to use that fraction key to put in 4/5. So it's just sine minus 1 is 4/5. Then type that into the calculator just as you see it. Now your calculator will give you some brackets. You don't always have to close them. If you're coming up with a syntax error though, go back and close those brackets off. That's probably what's causing it. And you should get 53.13010. And again, probably going on. It's going on with extra digits. Don't need to worry about that. Now we're just back to the nearest degree again. So let's have a look at where we're at to. So it's nearest degree, so I want to cut it off at that decimal place, or the decimal point. We have the 1 there, so that's under 4. You should know the drill pretty well by now that that's just going to leave it at 53 degrees. Okay, one more example to get to. Here we go. So given cos theta equals 1 over the square root of 2, and you can do this straight into your calculator, that is fine. We're going to have that cos to the minus 1, right? Remembering our shift and then cos to get cos to the minus 1. And now you're going to have to start with your fraction key to be able to type these in, because you need to be able to type that square root sign into your fraction. So just 1 over the square root of 2, and it's going to be 45. So our theta is 45 degrees. Now you'll notice that this one is also to the nearest degree, so we don't have to add anything there. Now hopefully this has been helpful to you and you are able to get on with some of those questions that are in the textbook or whatever textbook that you're using. And hopefully this video has been helpful, as well as the first part of the series, and good luck with all your questions. Thanks for watching.